Hello everyone, welcome to Biology for Grownups. We will start with the Trueman's Elementary Biology for class 12th and gradually we will cover all the topics of the class 12th as well as class 11th. Okay, so without wasting time, let us move to the first chapter, that is reproduction in organism. What basically reproduction is? It is the fundamental characteristic of living organism which involves the formation of the young ones by the grown up individual so as to maintain the continuity of the species. They are giving rise to their own young ones so that the species may continue forever. And next is lifespan. What basically lifespan is? The period from the birth to the natural death of an organism is called as lifespan. It could be few minutes to several thousand years. For example, they had given you the table. You can see some are microorganisms who are living only for a few minutes to the few hours. Mayfly, its lifespan is only 1 day. That is, it lives only for 1 day. Next is cicada 1 day, butterfly 1 to 2 weeks, fruit fly 1 month, rice plant 4 months, wheat plant 5 months, rat 4 years, rose bush 10 years, rabbit 10 years, crow 15 years, cow 25 years, banana tree 25 years, monkey 26 years, dog 11 to 14 years. If we talk about the cat, it is around 30 years, whale 37 years, horse 35 years, crocodile 60 years, elephant 60 to 75 years, eagle 90 years, and man is 100 years. And the parrot 140 years. Such a long lifespan of the parrot. Now, if we talk about the tortoise, it is around 100 to 150 years. Koi fish is 200 years. Banyan tree 300 to 500 years. People 2000 to 3000 years. Now, next is sequoia. Sequoia is 3000 to 4000 years. That is the redwood tree. I had taken a special photo for you also to look at the redwood tree whose lifespan is around 3000 to 4000 years. We can see over here. This is the redwood tree. Okay. Next is Laria credentata. Its lifespan is around 11,300 years. Let us look at its picture also. We can see this is that which lives up to 11,300 years. And we can see the number 30 as the Lavantia tasmanica. Its lifespan is, my god, 43,000 years. Let us see over how it looks. This is whose lifespan is around 43,000 years. Okay, so lifespan of an organism, it includes the 4 stages like juvenility, maturity, aging and senescence, and death. Juvenile, that is during this stage it develops the capacity to reproduce, that is to produce the young ones of its own type. Maturity, that is reproduction, begins during this stage. Aging and senescence, it is progressive deterioration in the body of the organism. Progressive means step by step the body is getting deteriorated, and the terminal irreversible stage of the aging is called as senescence. What is the meaning of this terminal irreversible stage? Now the stage could not be reversed and it is the terminal ending of the aging, and this is called as senescence. Next is death. So senescence, because now this is the terminal end of the aging, so after obviously senescence it will lead to the death. During this stage there is a final permanent cessation. Cessation, what is the meaning of cessation? That is stoppage of all the vital activities of an organism. And the changeover from one stage to another, it is determined by the genetic as well as the environmental factor. That is in how much time one stage changes into another. So we have taken the lifespan into the 4 stages: juvenility, maturity, aging, senescence, and finally death. So remember these. Now we can see over here a very wonderful diagram of the figure 1.1 approximate lifespan of some organism. They have shown you the mayfly whose lifespan is 1 day, butterfly 1 to 2 weeks, fruit fly 1 month, rice plant 4 months, wheat 5 months, rose 10 years, crow 15 years, banana tree 25 years, cow 25, dog 11 to 14, crocodile 60, horse 35, elephant 60 to 75, and parrot 140, tortoise 100 to 150, and banyan trees 300 to 500 years, and sequoia trees 3000 to 4000 years. So here they have given you along with the diagram, they have explained this. Next, they are saying that it is not essential that the lifespan of an organism should be correlated with the size. For example, we can just check the size of the crow and the parrot. They are not very different from one another. But the lifespan, they show the great difference. We can see crow can live only for 15 years, whereas parrot up to 140 to 150 years. So, in another example, mango tree, it has shorter lifespan as compared to the peepal tree. Whatever be the lifespan, death of an organism is must. It means no individual is immortal except some single cell amoeba. Why they are immortal? Because their body divides into two individuals before becoming old. They already undergoes the cytokinesis process of karyokinesis, cytokinesis. The whole body divided into the two. That is why they are immortal. Now in detail we will study what is reproduction. It is the biological process in which the organism produces the young ones, offspring similar to themselves, and the young one grow and mature to repeat the process. Organisms are producing their offsprings. What is the meaning of offspring? It is another name for the young ones, and they who looks like themselves only. They grow and mature to repeat the process. It is one of the most important characteristic of the living organism. Next, we will discuss the purpose of reproduction. What is the purpose of reproduction? Continuity of species. That is, reproduction maintains the continuity of species. That is, species may continue forever. Population organization. It maintains the population of the young, adult, and aged person. Variation. Obviously, reproduction introduces the variation in the organism. What are the variation? Variation are the changes which are produced because we are not just ditto copy of our parents. We are not all alike. We have some differences, that is called as variation, and some variations are advantageous and give the survival advantage. So useful variations are essential for adaptation as well as for the evolution. Adaptation to the different conditions, environmental conditions and other conditions, as well as evolution, which lead to the formation of the new species. Next is life. Life exists on the earth due to reproduction in the organism. What are the basic features of reproduction? All mode of the reproduction has some common basic feature. These are as follows: synthesis of RNA, proteins and other biochemical, and replication of the DNA. DNA will get duplicated. Cell division will occur. Growth of the cell, formation of the reproductive unit, formation of the new individual from the reproductive unit. So these are the basic features of the reproduction. Okay. So next is the types of reproduction. So mode of the reproduction depend upon the structural complexity, physiology and habitat of an organism. So it is of main two types. Asexual. I think you have understood the basic feature of reproduction. That is, they are saying that some common basic feature है सारे mode of reproduction में. जैसे अब हम modes पढ़ रहे हैं, asexual है, sexual है, तो इनमें they are saying कि basic feature जो है they are common. That is, RNA तो बनेगा ही, proteins और दूसरे जो biochemicals है वो बनेंगे. DNA will also get replicated क्योंकि चाहे ये sexual हो, these have to be replicated, that is duplicated. Now it is followed by the cell division. Cell has to be divided. Now growth of the cell. Cell must be grown. Formation of the reproductive units and new individual. And so let us move to the different modes of reproduction. That is asexual. First, today we will discuss the asexual mode of the reproduction, and sexual mode of the reproduction we will discuss at the next class. So without wasting time, let us move forward. So when offsprings, they are produced by a single parent without the involvement of the gametic fusion. This type of reproduction is asexual. As a result, the offspring that are produced are not only similar to one another but are exact copies of their parents. And such a group of morphologically and genetically similar individual is called as clone. So clone, understood? Clone क्या है? Clone बिल्कुल जो अपने parent से हूबहू copy, morphologically as well as genetically also they are same. That is called as clone. What are the characteristics? Single parent is involved. Gametes are no gametes are formed in this. No fertilizations is occurring. So this process could be called as agamogenesis. A means absent. Okay, so gametes is absent. There is only mitotic division. What is mitotic? Equational division. Because only DNA is coming from the single parent, so it will undergo the mitotic division. Unit of reproduction is made of one or more somatic cells, and asexual is also called as somatogenic reproduction. Daughter organisms are genetically identical to the parent. The multiplication occur rapidly. Occurrence कहाँ होता है? It occurs in monotrons, protistans, that is unicellular organism. Many plants and simple animal. It is absent in vertebrates. Vertebrates are those organisms which have the vertebral column in them. Okay, so it is absent in vertebrates and higher invertebrate. We have discussed the invertebrates, so you all know invertebrates जिनमें बैकबोन नहीं होता. ठीक है, annelids, arthropods, mollusks, these classes. Zoospores and conidia, they are the common method of the asexual reproduction in several algae and the fungi, which we will discuss later of part of this chapter. Budding and gemule formation are common in the lower animals, whose body design is not much complex. What are the type of the asexual reproduction? Fission. Now fission could be this binary fission, that is simple binary fission, or the longitudinal binary fission. So फीसस मीन्स क्लेफ्ट है. सो डिवीजन है पेरेंट बॉडी का दो या दो से ज़्यादा डॉटर सेल में जो पेरेंट की तरह आइडेंटिकल होगा. एंड फिशन अकस बता बाइनरी फिशन, मल्टीपल फिशन और प्लास्मोटोमी. वन बाय वन हम तीनों को डिस्कस करते हैं. बाइनरी नाम से पता चल रहा है कि बाइनरी मीन्स टू. तो द पेरेंट बॉडी इट विल डिवाइड इनटू द टू हाफ्स, ईच हाफ फॉर्मिंग एन इंडिपेंडेंट डॉटर ऑर्गेनिज्म. इट वाज द माइटोसिस, दैट इज इक्वेशनल डिवीजन. जीन्स जो होंगे वो आइडेंटिकल होंगे पेरेंट से और एज वेल एज एक दूसरे से भी. So depending upon plane of division, binary fission is may be simple or may be longitudinal. Simple we can see in the diagram. The plane of the division it is irregular. So in any plane it could be divided. Example is amoeba. Whereas if we talk about the longitudinal binary fission, the plane of the division passes only longitudinally. Okay, that is it along the longitudinal axis. It occurs in the flagellates such as Euglena. And this flagellum like first it is followed by the body, we can see over here. So longitudinal division is taking place, the basal body and the nucleus and the flagellums are present. Okay, so there is a construction in the nuclear division and finally longitudinal furrow, it deepens and divides into two euglena. Next is transverse binary fission. The plane of the division runs along the transverse axis of the individual. Example is Paramecium, Planaria, diatoms and the bacteria. In Paramecium, the meganucleus, it will divide by the amitosis. Micronucleus will divide by the mitosis. We can see over here. Macronucleus and micronucleus are given over here. A small nucleus is called as micronucleus and macronucleus like this. So the micronucleus divided by the mitosis and meganucleus divided by the amitosis. So we can see the planaria also they have shown. Next is oblique binary fission. The plane of the division is oblique, which involves the dinoflagellate like Serratium. Reproductive unit and mortality in binary fission of the parent body as a whole. They form the reproductive unit and disappear after its division into daughter individual. Therefore, the parent cannot be said to have died. The parent continues to live as a two daughter cells. Okay, therefore they are called as immortal. Next is the multiple fission. So multiple fission में parent body it will divide into the similar daughter cells. We can see multiple fission of the amoeba. Unfavorable condition में क्या होगा? Amoeba it will withdraw its pseudopodia, secrete a 3-layered thick covering. These are called cyst wall, and phenomena is called as encystation. On return of the favorable condition, the encysted amoeba it divides by the multiple fusion and produces many minute amoebae called as pseudopodiopores. Cyst wall ruptures to release these pseudopodiopores in the surrounding mediums and they grow up into the mature amoebae. We can see in the diagram they have shown wonderfully. So sometimes instead of forming the single cyst amoeba, it produces number of the spores of the unsheathed amoebae. This phenomena is called as sporulation. Spores take part in both the dispersal and the pollination, that is passing through the unfavorable period. Under favorable condition, its spores will give rise to the new amoeba. Multiple fission of the Plasmodium malaria parasite. प्लास्मोडियम में क्या होता है, मल्टीपल फिशन होगी. इट अकर इन साइजोसोम. साइजोसोम जो है वो राउंडेड यूनिसेलुलर स्ट्रक्चर है, present at the liver cells and RBCs, and as well as the oocyst, which is present over the stomach of the female Anopheles mosquito. So when multiple fission in the cystosomes, the process is called as isogony, and the daughter cell individual are called as merozoite. The formation of the these processes of multiple fission in the oocyst is called as sporogony. Okay, so your homework will be to revise the binary fission and multifission. In later part, we will discuss more about this asexual reproduction. For now, thank you so much for listening. Okay, thanks.